Liberty, and welcome to a little tropical update here right now in Atlantic. You can see what's currently going on in Atlantic. Right now, we got four areas to watch here. We got one out in the open Atlantic here from the remnants of what used to be Hurricane Paulette about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Then below that, we got another area of interest to watch. That may have a small chance of developing into something really quick here. Then we got an area of interest to watch in the Gulf of Mexico that has recently been designated as Invest 92L and is firing off some more convection near the center of circulation, or near where the center of circulation may be trying to form there, I should say. And then we also got Tropical Storm Gamma over the Yucatan, just about to come off the coast of the Yucatan here. Made landfall earlier this morning at around 11:45 Central Standard Time as a high-end tropical storm with 70-mile-an-hour winds with the pressure down to 980 millibars here. And you can see how the storms progressed with time. First, let's start off with the wide view of the Atlantic tropical weather outlook right now. You can see what's currently going on. Let's start off with the main thing to talk about here. Disturbance number one, also dubbed Invest 92L recently, has a 40% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours. Into the next 5 days, a high 70% chance of formation here into a tropical depression strength storm or higher here as it progresses through the Caribbean and eventually into the Gulf of Mexico, unfortunately. Then disturbance number two here has a low 20% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours and 5 days as well, as you can see there. So it has a little window to perhaps form into something really quick here. And then we got disturbance number three, which is remnants of what used to be Hurricane Paulette about 2 or 3 weeks ago, still kicking here, and it has a low 10% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours and 5 days respectively. First, let's start talking about Tropical Storm Gamma here. This is the latest forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center as of 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, arriving number 7. The center is currently located at 21.3 degrees north, 88.0 degrees west, with maximum sustained winds at 60 miles per hour, moving to the northwest at 7 miles per hour, and Tropical Storm Gamma is forecast to move over into the Gulf of Mexico here and maintain its intensity here of about 60 miles per hour the entire duration of this forecast cone here, due to the fact that it's going to be in kind of unfavorable conditions here due to a stalled front in the Gulf of Mexico that's going to be making the environment for Tropical Storm Gamma not really the best here in terms of preferability wise here, with dry air and some wind shear, perhaps some inhibiting factors for the storm here, hence why the National Hurricane Center has pretty much had the forecasts Gamma to sustain at 60-mile-an-hour wind speed here for the entire 5-day duration of this forecast cone you see here. And you can see this is satellite imagery of Tropical Storm Gamma right now, and you can see it coming off of the Yucatan here, moving into the Gulf of Mexico. Still a well-organized system here compared to how it was yesterday. Really well-developed storm when it was making landfall here, and of course, the National Hurricane Center will go over this storm in their post-season tropical cyclone report here, also known as a TCR. And I'll go over this and go over all the data that they found and all the analysis they conduct with this storm and that post-season analysis, and they'll figure out whether or not this was actually indeed a high-end tropical storm at landfall, or perhaps a low-end Category 1 hurricane at a landfall here in the Yucatan. And they'll look at that probably starting next year or so, when you get a chance, whenever they get the chance to do it. It's not usually a fast process, especially with storms like this here. But you can see what I'm talking about with the dry air in front of the system, or the dry, stable air given by that kind of stalled cold front in the Gulf of Mexico. But I will give Gamma credit. It appears to be trying to fight off some of that dry air here. So hence, that's probably why one of the reasons why the National Hurricane Center have Gamma sustain its 60-mile-per-hour wind speed here throughout the whole duration of the 5-day forecast cone. And here's a look at the Caribbean right now. As you can see, we got, of course, Tropical Storm Gamma about to enter the Gulf of Mexico. And you can see how it looked like when the sun came up, making landfall there as a high-end 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm, forming an eye-like feature as it did so. And, of course, now it's about to enter back over water here, this time over the Gulf of Mexico. And then now, of course, we have Invest 92L entering the Central Caribbean here. That has a high chance of formation, and if it does get named into a name system, it'll be designated as it'll be called Tropical Storm Delta, which is next to Greek name, since of course we exhausted the alphabetical list in mid-September this year already. So the next Greek name on the list is Delta. So if this system does get named 92L, if it does get named, it'll be called Tropical Storm Delta, and if it does only reach tropical depression status, it'll be called Tropical Depression, I believe 26L here. And here's a quick look at Hurricane Marie weakening now over the open East Pacific right now. As you can see, currently located at 19.5 degrees north, 127.9 degrees west of max sustained 1-minute winds, estimated to be at 115 miles per hour, making this a low-end Category 3 hurricane on a subsistence scale. Going to the northwest at 8 miles per hour, and again, like I said in the past few updates with this system, really only poses a threat for any marine interests or any boaters that happen to be in the immediate area of the storm. Poses absolutely no threat at all to land. Fortunately, even it's moving away from land, actually, if it is posing somewhat of a coastal risk there. It is moving away from the coast, and it's forecast to rapidly weaken as it enters those really unfavorable conditions it's in right now. It starts to really feel the effects of them, I should say, and you could see it on evidence on infrared imagery here. You could see how the eye has gotten a lot more cloudy than it was last update. Last update, the eye was really well pronounced, and now it's really clouded over and really trying to fight off that all that unfavorable conditions that it's in right now. But in the end, those unfavorable conditions will win out, and the storm will eventually weaken and eventually dissipate here with time over those hostile conditions. You're going to see it better here in the water vapor imagery here. Look at all that dry air just west of the storm there. Just look at all that dry, stable air. That's one of the main reasons why the National Hurricane Center pretty much forecast rapid awakening with Hurricane Marie is because of dry air, winds here, cooler sea surface temperatures than it was in about 24 hours before this. Hence why this storm is weakening and looking a lot worse than it did about 24 hours ago, about the last time that I did an update for this. And remember to get official information from the National Hurricane Center and National Weather Service here. To get onto the National Weather Service, type up weather.gov or just NWS or National Weather Service, and you should see this page right here. And of course, say you live in Texas here, you could click over and say Beaumont, Texas, or Houston, Texas. You can click here on this map, and it'll take you straight to the Houston, Galveston, Texas area forecast office for this part of the country here. And say you live in Beaumont, Texas, you click on Beaumont there, and it'll take you to the local forecast office for that area of Texas, which happens to be Lake Charles. It'll give you a 5-day graphical forecast as well as a 7-day text forecast below that too. You even have another map here. You can change all the different stuff above here, and you can move this around throughout the country and find out where you live, or you could either do it this way and put in a zip code or the nearest city or town name near you. Put that in, and it'll give you the latest forecast for your area. And then they also have an hourly weather forecast here too, so you can plan your day out hour by hour here as the day goes on. And in the National Hurricane Center, just type up nhc.noaa.gov or just National Hurricane Center or just NHC. I just type up National Hurricane Center, or I just type up NHC Hurricane, and usually it's the first search result. And of course, you're on the correct page when you see all this good, crucial information here given to you by official agency here for the basin, official agency for the basin here. So in summary, please keep an eye on the tropics here in Atlantic. Keep an eye out on Tropical Storm Gamma and Tropical Storm Gamma and Invest 92L here in the Caribbean. Keep an eye on them closely. Of course, Gamma is a more immediate threat to land at this point, so please keep an eye on that one. Fortunately, it's not forecast to enter or hit the United States here at this point in time. Of course, that could easily change here, but at this point in time, the National Hurricane Center do believe that the storm, at least within the next 5 days, will not be much of an issue for the United States here in terms of a landfall or a direct hit per se. And then for Invest 92L, they forecast it to enter the Gulf of Mexico here within the next 5 days, and the models are kind of really uncertain with this storm where it's going to go. So just keep an eye on this storm as well. So just keep an eye on the tropics here. Make sure, of course, you have your hurricane plan ready to go, and you have your hurricane kit ready to go. And if you don't have one already, make sure you take the time to either make one or update one. If you already have one right now, make sure to update it for the latest information here. And of course, for your local officials like the National Hurricane Center, National Weather Service, and of course, the local officials here in general. And that's probably going to be about it for this tropical update here. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. Try to answer them to the best of my ability here. And that's probably going to be about it for this tropical update here. Keeping out on the tropics here. And hope everybody has a great day or night wherever you guys are. Stay safe, of course. Till then, see you guys in the next video.